Welcome back, guys. My name is Logan with West Desert Wheeler, and in today's video we're taking a second look at Tyson's G-Shot build. I did a first video on this truck. This thing has a full RTR Capra inside of it. It's got Capra axles, it has the Capra transmission. It was using the stock motor and ESC as well as radio and all that fun stuff. But since that video, Tyson has gone out and done some upgrades to this thing, and that's what today's video is going to be about. So one of the first ones that you can see right up in front of our face are the Team Garage Hack brass super positive offset beadlock wheels. These have a ton of weight to them, so that's going to add a lot lower center of gravity to the truck. It's also going to narrow it up, which is really good for competitions, which Tyson plans on running this truck in our North vs. South RC shootout, which there will be more details on in my other video that I will post on my Power Wagon refresh. So this thing has a couple other upgrades as well. He went ahead and did the wild overdrive portal gears and an overdrive front differential. So this thing has got lots of overdrive going to the front end, which basically makes the front end kind of do a 50% dig everywhere it goes. So it's kind of interesting to drive and see how it responds. It's got the Proline flat iron tires on here, which is a great choice. G8 compound. I really like my flat irons and I've run them for a long time. So there we go, getting the truck to pivot around, get balanced in this little crack here. Try and get the front end to come up before the rears slip out of place. But this truck is awesome. He went with the orange carbon fiber rails. That's why he did the orange stripe on there. Now he's got the brass wheels, so he did the brass stripe as well. Got the orange shocks. And it's got the Fusion Hobby Wing brushless ESC setup in there. This truck is nice and fresh, not very many scratches. He wanted to make sure it looked good for the video, so he did a whole new body for me to take out before he goes out and hammers on it. He also did a new body mounting system on there. You can see me getting a hold of the boat sides there on the G-Shot. Most people do Power Wagons on these. I've seen a J-Concept tucked body on one of these as well. That's pretty cool. But yeah, he went with the cliffhanger body, which is a cool choice. The extended cab Toyota truck style. Tyson is a Toyota fan, just like myself. Trying to get these rears to pop up. Guess there's a little more of a ledge there than I expected. But you can see the controller I'm using is the stock RTR Capra controller. And that's what I like most about this truck, is it just kind of proved that you could just take a Capra kit and convert it over to the G-Shot if you wanted. And now he's slowly starting to add the different upgrades like the wheels, brushless motor and stuff. So it's got the Capra transmission with dig. We can throw it and dig right here. You can see the front tires will rotate, the rears will stay locked. Bring that front end into a different position and then go ahead and go back into four-wheel drive. Tyson had to come up with his own dig bracket, which sets the servo horizontally instead of vertically, which it really adds performance. It works better than the factory Capra stuff does. There she goes. So already heading downhill quite a ways. Let's see if we can dig uphill. It's not wanting to. So let's just take the back up. That Hobby Wing Fusion brushless combo in there. Super awesome for nice, slow, controlled crawling. With the Capra transmission that's in this truck, it doesn't quite have as much gearing reduction as a typical 3-gear transmission or something like that. So you want a low kV motor for a setup like this, and these Fusions can really make these Capra trans crawl. Bring that front end around. It's a little too much of a bind. I don't want to break his truck. There you go, reverse burn around. Back into four-wheel. And bring that wall, tire up the wall. And then just ride the wall around. This rock curves along with the corner, so it should work out pretty well. You can at least get the front end to follow that. The rear is not going to do it. Turn sharp. Go straight, stay balanced. Yeah, let's set ourselves up, because now we can get the rears up against the wall because I'm turning full driver. Trying to get that rear driver to come up the wall. You can see how narrow this is for Capra axles. Oh, we lost that front tire. Not able to get that one done. It's all good. I've never run that line before, just out here playing around, seeing what's possible. But so far, really liking the upgrades he's done on the G-Shot. A lot of overdrive in this truck, that's for sure. This area's just got these fun little rocky boulder sections, some loose sandstone. Some of it breaks apart as you drive on it, but a lot of little cracks and ravines to run between the rocks. It's my favorite style of stuff, is just trying to stay balanced through different lines. Set this front end down, chase it down. So this is a perfect spot to use a dig, because the front end's kind of trapped. Bring it right out of that bind, back into four wheel. Made it look so much smoother. If I would have stayed in four wheel, it would have really been struggling and chugging along. Rear set down, got the front climbing. It's going to balance that rear tire out, and then I'm actually going to go back into dig and bring it up the other rock. Tyson, big thumbs up on your dig unit mount, dude, because it works way better with this setup. So the Capra dig does work. You just got to get it set right, and whatever he did for this truck, it's kicking ass. I'm really liking it. It's in and out every time. So we're just going to touch this rock as we cross over this ravine. Got the portals for extra clearance. A lot of overdrive to bring that front end right up. Turn into it, and then we're going to make the crossover. Dip the tire through the crack, and then just one tire at a time on the rears. Just chugging along. Made it look easy. So Tyson grabbed his G-Shot kit from Sky RC Hobby Shop down here in southern Utah. If you're in St. George, be sure to stop by and check out Sky RC. They carry the full line of G-Speed products, so if you're after something, stop by and say what's up to Cody. He'll get you taken care of. Let's grab dig, pull this front end up over this rock. I want to get up on top of the rock, but I don't want to lose my balance. I might need a little bit of push from the four-wheel drive to actually get me there. Totally lost the balance. We'll see if we can use this rock in front of me to get me back over there. Let's try a dig right here. Yeah, pulled the truck right back across that gap. Same problem. Now we're up against the ledge again, and the rear's against the ledge, so we're going to see what happens. I bet it's going to spit it off this rock. The whole driver's side is going to fall off. Watch this. Let's give it a little reverse. It just does not like it when I reverse in this truck. With the overdrive up front, it really upsets the rears in reverse. No, now the rear's trapped. This crack isn't going how I thought it was going to. So we're going to simplify the line a little bit. We're going to drive up this ledge first and then try and get balanced. There we go. Got to get that rear tire up. The front end's where we want it. Drive it out. Now our fronts we got to watch and track. And as we come through here, we're going to have to navigate this big crack on the front passenger. I think honestly if I just drive straight, the tire should come down in contact. Ooh, just grabbed enough to pull it up. The rear's going straight with the front end and pulling on it. Should cruise right through. This truck's doing good. I'm liking it a lot. One small thing Tyson had to change was the boat side mount was 3D printed from G-Speed. He said he broke a couple of them, so he just built one out of metal so that they're a little more resistant to braking. I've actually been on this obstacle before. It's a pretty cool one. It's a nice smooth roller up into like a little bowled out section. So it kind of turns into a pinch for the front tires as they come up. There's a small little ledge, just got to squeeze past. And then every time I've always driven it, as I get the rears just to start biting, I turn all the way uphill to try and rotate the truck. And do like almost a full 180 in about a 12-inch radius. And you can cruise around and drop off this ledge. And apparently roll 3 times. All right, so we've got this truck, bunch of overdrive. Luckily, it's narrow compared to typical factory axles. And then we've got this little obstacle here. So something I'm looking at is there's a little bit of an overhang right under my finger. So as I push the truck in, I'm gonna come in and turn right. And as I come in and push in, this overhang is gonna try and spit the truck backwards. This big ledge has nothing under it, so I really can't turn and pull the front end up and over it. This is gonna be a tricky one. Let's see if this truck can get in there and get after it. So I'm probably not going to, I'm intentionally gonna run my tire into that overhang though, because I wanna pressure into it and keep my cab clear of this rock as much as I can. And so from here, full crank passenger. So I might actually want a dig and see if I can get this passenger side to come up the ledge, which is gonna keep me off the rock on the passenger side of the body. Okay, we're looking good. Got the front end up above the rock, so that's good. Dig unit working flawless. Way to go, Tyson. He solved the Capra transmission apparently. So still got the rears pushing, but we got a lot of overdrive in the front. Oh, it's just bound up. It's so close. Yeah, I almost had that. So this front tire is getting trapped by this overhang on this little ledge. If it had just a little more grunt, it would have popped up and I would have got through there. So let's see if we can reverse driver dig to pop it up. Nope. Maybe use that little loose rock there as just enough of a ramp to get up and settle on there. There we go, we got it. Got lucky with that rock being there. I can crank in there. Need to stay balanced just a little longer. Oh, servo's not happy. So at this point we need dig again. Getting into this rock at the body now. Something I was trying to avoid. Oh, come on, Hobbywing. I had it. So we basically didn't come in on a corner when it started to work. I was coming up a little straighter. But we had it and then it let go. Got a little bit too much of an overhang. There she goes, just using the body for traction. Got the whole front end through. Uh-oh. Almost got the whole front end through. Now we're sitting sideways. Now we moved a whole rock in there. Dig unit. Man, like I mentioned, this is gonna be an ugly one. It's really hoping this is gonna be like the obstacle for this truck. Got the front passenger real high. Got the hood to clear. Keep holding it there. The rear gets trapped under that overhang. The G-Speed boat sides are working, doing their thing. You just get these fronts to come up, and maybe I'll just hold it full passenger, and maybe it'll rotate around. That's it. Now the rear is gonna come up. I'm gonna go full driver, because I want those rears to hit a little more square than they are. I think this is it right here. Got it. Sweet. That was cool. And I don't think I destroyed a servo, so I'm pretty happy about that too. A lot of binding, but this truck powered through and got it done. Pretty damn awesome. So on that last obstacle, how I went and drove through it and showed you guys kind of my thought process on how to approach it and do all that. It's not that I think I'm like this expert driver or anything like that. It's literally just my thought process that goes on inside my head every time I drive up an obstacle. I'm looking for obvious signs of where things might hang up, what could possibly work, what I could do to get it to go up. And really for the videos, I just kind of vocalize it. So I just kind of word vomit whatever I'm thinking. And then, yeah, that's where the dialogue comes from. It's just what I think of while I'm approaching and trying to figure out the puzzle on these climbs. That's kind of what I've equated the rock crawling with the RCs to, is just like all these obstacles are just little puzzles. And usually there's an answer. On almost all of them, there's an answer on how to do it. So like right here, I had to shift that front end over to get the frame to clear. and then I got to turn back uphill to get the fronts planted to pull the truck up. But we're getting bellied out. Maybe there's not an answer here. It's a big climb for sure. And if I can't get it quite where the rears are on top of this rock. So one thing you can consider is that you can run half the rear tread on the top of that rock. You can let half of it hang off and it'll still hold on. But the way it rounds out, it drops off just like that. But the fronts are hooked. Got lots of traction up front. Straighten the tires to give it the most pressure possible on the fronts. Turn, looking for a hook, looking for it to grab somehow. No, it's not going to crawl this. But it's all good. But yeah, hopefully you guys understand a little more about where my thought process comes from while I'm making these videos. Check out this pretty wicked rock formation out here. And there just might be a line through here, so we'll see if we can get the truck body to fit. Cruise down. We're going to smash up our roof pretty good. We're going to pull our body clips out, so what's going to happen? Oh, it just cleared. Nice, didn't even touch. Now we're trying to get the overdrive to pull our front end up on top of this rock. I did not place this rock here, but I would assume someone else has come through with an RC crawler and set this here, because it's just a little too perfect to have not been placed. Here we go, getting the front up. Trying to avoid letting that rear drop in the hole too bad. Get the rears up a little more. Turn across. That rear should shoot up right there. And then we can go up and out. That's a pretty steep climb. Should hook right there. Sick, that was cool. Up and out of this awesome rock formation. All right, our G-shot, I have not moved it since the end of that last clip. Just had to jump up top, see where I was going. I think we're gonna front burn around and try and get a piece of this next obstacle, but gotta do it without flipping over on our way in. And it's not looking good. So hopefully that rear holds. No, needs to hold right here, has to. Okay, we got our rear in where we need it, and now we can front burn down because we got our safety net on that rear axle. We can't fall off the ledge anymore. And then I need four-wheel drive. The top of the rear tire is touching, so it's going to try and pull the truck backwards. But I think we got enough overdrive to counteract that. Sure enough, we do. So now I need to drive to get my front end pretty far driver to make those rears fall where I want. So we can actually go further than we need to on the front driver and then front burn back where we want the fronts. So that's a neat trick you can use a dig, is you can drive the incorrect line that you need for the front, but then you can bring it back and save it for the rear. So like right here, let's front burn around. But that right rear is stopping the truck from rotating now. It's got too good of a grip. So we can try and reverse burn, push into it. Oh yeah, lots of traction doing that. Try one of those reverse burns again. Okay, we're gonna need four-wheel drive. Hopefully the rear will stay balanced. Okay, the rear did not stay balanced. Let's back the whole thing up. Sitting a little sideways doing buggy things in this G-shot. Okay, turn passenger, balance it out, try and get the passenger front high enough to take the pressure off that rear driver or the rear passenger suspension. God, It's trapped in an overhang now too. This is a tough little spot, man. That crossover wasn't easy. The front burn thing isn't easy. I keep saying it, but I'm really amazed at how good this dig unit is working. And I've run the Capra dig a lot. I know what kind of performance I've had out of it. And it's not bad enough that I won't run it, but it's usually annoying. It doesn't usually like to work when you need it to. Okay, I want a front burn here because I'm almost where I need to be. Come on, truck. Damn it. Might be beyond saving at this point. Because even reversing doesn't work. He gets all pissed off. A little too much driving angle on the front. Yeah, all I can do is get it to the rear is in the bottom of the crack, and I can't quite get it balanced again. That's it. That's where I wanted it. Holy hell. Okay. Took a minute, a little bit of fighting. Just had to go further than I was. Okay, we need to dig, bring the front end over, just drag the rears into place. Exactly what I wanted to have happen there. And then balance the front back out. Back into four wheel. Let's jump around the side. Holy crap, what an ugly obstacle this turned out to be. We're still not done yet. Ooh man, that barely saved it. And those G-shot both sides. Gonna just touch it on the way through. And we're out at the top. We're gonna call that the end of the trail for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for having the dog tag along. Say goodbye, Sydney. Yep, goodbye everybody. Okay, we'll see you guys in the next one. Keep the rubber side down.